Hi, how is this week? It's been pretty intense my end, and people that I've been talking to, it's pretty intense wherever we are. There is a lot of stuff that we are releasing, and we just have to get out of the way and allow. And the message this week is, and so we begin. And I was asked to play these frequencies today, which works with the energy from the unconscious and communication. So as these things come up, they can go if we just allow. I know there's been a lot of, for me personally, with eating, food changes, sleep changing, lots of different things on a normal everyday. So there's a lot of today because there is a lot of apprehension around. We don't know. We are moving now into the big release before the following week where we've got the eclipse, the fire horse coming in. We have the great conjunction the following week of Neptune and Saturn. So it's very intense at the moment. That's a good word, very intense. With the CMEs right now coming down on planet, there's a lot of solar energy coming in, and with that solar energy, lots of solar codes coming in that's enabling us to release. And there's energy coming in, coming up, going out. Is this for me anymore? There's a lot of shaking up of everything, just as like we're seeing in the world. Everything's being shook up. So this, hopefully, well, it will, is which will enable the communication with the subconscious so things are a little bit clearer. Then we have done the chart for today, for this coming week, and we were asked to do a double golden ratio. You can see a triangle and another triangle. The one in highlighting form is our evolutionary sun, and the one in pencil is from our sun, and the solar codes with all the CMEs that are coming in right now. So I will read the rest. Everything on here today is on dragon'seyehub.com, which is the website. If you go to blog, you can put it into any language that you like, so it'd be much easier if English isn't your spoken language. Okay, so that being said, take a deep breath while we just play the communication to your subconscious, allowing things to become, giving more clarity, especially, I will get on in a minute, especially, thank you, especially with Venus moving into, she's going from the dragon energy, which is interdimensional energy being carried through many dimensions to all of us for our different journeys, into the crystal energy, because the crystal energy is being awoken within. And within, we have crystals all through our bodies, through our feet, through our ears, everywhere. And the crystalline grids are now releasing powerful ancient coding. So it's coming up as well as coming in, and things are changing for us as human being. We're holding more light. We are beginning to understand that our bodies are now holding more light. And for those of us who are consciously going through this, things will obviously be changing with the body through eating, sleep, all of that. So just take a deep breath and let's get some communication going with the subconscious. Yes, there's a lot of Uranus energy. That's why I keep touching this part of there's a lot of energy coming through, which is that lightning energy of Uranus, which has just gone. Let's put this down and let's talk about Uranus. Okay, here we go. Uranus has just gone direct. Uranus was the last part of the trilogy. Remember, we've been talking a few weeks ago about Pluto, Saturn, and Uranus. This trilogy was in retrograde, so it slowed right down to allow a lot of, allowing us to move forward, enabling us to move forward. And this is also moving forward now, our Saturn, which is creating the new container, which next week is all about, with this eclipse that's coming in and with the fire horse energy coming in all on the same day, and then just 3 days later this huge amplifying of Saturn and Neptune. So water, flowing, and this huge wave of love coming in onto the planet. This is why all this dragon energy, and before that all the ascended masters. I mean, today Kuan Yin is around, a lot of things coming in from the east. So now we are going to play the communication to the subconscious and then we will speak about this coming week. Okay, so take a deep breath. There we go. So we hope that helped for this week. And now just a quick update with what's going on in this coming week. As we said, the message of this week is, and so we begin. Anything can happen, as we've been seeing out in the world. As Uranus has gone direct, and like lightning will bring us all on our path, which is needed for our evolution, whatever that looks like. We're all on different paths. We're all moving through different things, and some things will stay, some things will go. I know for me, there's been question marks over lots of things, and talking to friends, there's been question marks for them as well. And what stays and what goes. This week, Venus moves from the dragon energy and she starts to work with the crystalline grids of the earth, working with the ascended divine feminine. Time to get your crystal out and connect. Their energy is sending out ancient, powerful codes of evolution and remembrance. Our bodies are starting to process of holding more light, if that is your journey. Rest may be needed, eating may change, hydration so important, and sleep patterns may change. Dimensions are shifting within us. Things that were important before are not so important now, except love, just love. It's time for allowance. Then you can start working with this Uranian lightning strike. So when you allow things, the surprises don't seem such a surprise anymore. So when we talk about this, if you just allow yourself, sometimes we hold on to things and then all of a sudden we get out of our own way and we say, do you know what, that's not as important as it used to be. And once it goes, something else comes in. So ask what it is that you are releasing and allow. You know, we just brought in the communication with the subconscious because lots of things are coming up from our subconscious, from when we were children, from what happened just yesterday. Things are coming up so we can truly release. This is the last week of the snake energy of shedding that skin. So there are some things that we may have been holding on to that are now just releasing. Feel that dragon rise up within you. And what is dragon energy? It's inner and outer, multidimensional, powerful, ancient energy that is enabling you to shift dimensions, have great rememberings, to allow you to remember why you incarnated at this time and give yourself the courage and allowance to know what is right for you. Everything you need is within. And as you feel things slow down within, it will enable a bigger perspective and focus of your way forward. Time is a little irrelevant right now. 1 minute you seem to have a lot of time and then all of a sudden there's no time. And when the time runs fast, oh, I'm not actually that tired. It's just really interesting when we notice what's going on with time as this new time spiral is being created. The frequency of the Uranian energy is 285 Hertz on the 555, working with the whale energy and separation. This frequency is evolutionary healing frequency, which will kickstart literally your way forward. To invoke this collective energy, you say, I invoke the 285 Hertz on the 444, I am vision, I see. Look to see if you have this within your personal charts, to see if you do, to see where any of this energy is playing out. You know, if you've got a little itch, you've got a little cough, are you not feeling too well? This is things coming out of your system ready. As we talked about the trilogy earlier on, and everything was slowed right down and it was in cocoon stage. Well, now this cocoon is getting ready next week to start opening up. I mean, these cocoons don't just open, right? You've been cocooned, and then slowly it opens, petal by petal, leaf by leaf, skin by skin, which is what we're doing at the moment. And so when this happens, we really, as you can hear me, I'm really slowing down with my speech, because that is the kind of energy that we're walking through right now. We as a human race are very quick, very fast a lot of the time. And I know I am, I like to get things done. So just be aware of things slowing down, but time not necessarily slowing down. And as we said, look to see if you've got 285 in your chart anywhere. Where is this playing out? Or 285 on the 444. And as I said earlier on, we were shown to create the golden ratio event chart. For all you astrologers out there, this is what this looks like. Which is the chart of the sun and of the evolutionary sun, which is Jupiter. So how does this work? The solar rays are coming in, but they're also coming in through Jupiter, which is our root energy center, which is why fundamentals are shifting. This is why it's all being shaken up. And so the frequencies of this chart are written on the blog, but we'll just quickly go through them. And this is what these energies are amplifying. So the sun is working with the Earth Dragon today in initiation, activating the Earth Dragon collectively, enabling release. And the 2 points of this Earth Dragon working, so the golden ratio is the event point, and then 108 degrees either way, which creates the 144 degree here. So these two harmonics can work harmonically and then come back down to what's being amplified. So these points will enable you to integrate. They're like integration points. So when we look at the integration points, so the sun, as we said, is on the Earth Dragon. So we have one integration point, which is 285 on the 444, which interestingly enough is right where Uranus is. So that's going to really help with those shocks and surprises and, oh, I've never felt this before. The 285 on the 444 is also the firefly and breakthrough. This is Atlantean and Arcturian energy. It's inspiring energy. If you invoke it, I invoke the 285 on the 444 and then say firefly and breakthrough. Maybe play 285, go on YouTube, find 285, or go on to dragon'seyehub.com, which is where the blog is. On the home page there's the frequency directory. Just press and play and you'll find 285 on there. But by playing this, inspiration might come in. Make sure you write it down, because this is fleeting. It's very difficult to catch it. This is interdimensional energy, outer dimensional energy that is coming in. Be part of that wave. And when you're part of that wave, if you get that inspiration, write it down, because it can be fleeting. So just catch that wave. The other part of the integration point of the sun right now is, let's have a look, is 741 on the 777. This is activation of balance. So we have the healing aspect here, working with the Arcturians and the Atlantean energy, which is that green ray, and the green ray is beautiful energy, beautiful healing energy. So it's calming to the central nervous system. The 741 is activation of balance. So again, these 2 points are really helping with that sun energy, with that Uranus energy. Try and get my words out straight. And so the 741 on the 777, the other point of the sun, is the rose's kiss and protection. It's activation energy, and it's centering you into feeling of joy. So you can step back from the chaos of the shocks of what you're personally going through, and so you can center into the feeling of joy. You can find that space within you when all around you is chaos. This is an excellent one to play, 741, and you can invoke 741 on the 777, the rose's kiss and protection. And so they're two great points of integration of where the sun is right now. Now the evolutionary sun, Jupiter, which is in our root energy center, the sun is in the solar you don't call it solar here on planet. What do we call it? This is on the sacral energy center, which is where the sun is. The evolutionary sun is Jupiter, and that is in our root energy center. You can see that all this energy from Uranus and from this trilogy, that's the cocoon is now opening and things are being released. We may see it as chaos, but there's also that centering to joy, you know, those 2 points of the sun. And now we're looking to Jupiter, which is expansion of your seed. And as we said, these are all lower energies. It's getting your seed as it should be. And if you don't, or you're not one to concentrate on the lower energies, you will be pulled to places that will enable you. You'll be pulled to people that will enable you. You'll be, you know, sat in places that enable you to work with these lower energies, because these are key to the next part of everyone's story, which collectively is the world. So Jupiter, the evolutionary sun, is on 396 on the 666. This is sweet harmony. This is 396 communication, and 666 is working with Venus. And as we know, this is why this is the Venus weather report. She works with clarity, so she is the key to clarity. If you invoke 396 on the 666, Emperor and protection. This is old soul. This is soul protection. This is coming into you. It's working with communication of Venus, which brings clarity, an old soul protection. And the question is, do you need protection? You know, a lot of us create protection. We create sacred energy that we can work in, but many bring in protection. Do we need that protection? What are we fearful of that we need protecting from? And this is what's coming up from the subconscious. So invoke 396 on the 666, Emperor and protection. Emperor, anything regal is not that it's royal or regal, but it's showing us that it's a very, very old soul. And protection. So when you have that old soul energy being remembered, suddenly you rise from this, from the mundane, and go, hey, hang on a minute, I know who I am, and I know I'm not fearful of that anymore. So things are really going to start to shift in between. Now the 2 points, the integration point of Emperor and protection, of this super clarifying communication, is 432 on the 666, again working with that clarity of Venus, and it's working with 432, which is limitless clarification. So this is really good if you're feeling a bit foggy, you're not sure with what's going on or where you're going. Now, we're not going to see the end point. The next 2 years is not knowing what the end point is. The next 2 years is about being in the moment. Is taking it step by step, and revelation within, revealing things within. You know, like those veils lifting, you going, oh, that's why I don't need that anymore. Oh, that's why I don't need that anymore. So the integration point of this Jupiter is 432 on the 666. And if you want to invoke this is priestess and partnership. So it's taking you within to men and women with that priestess energy within, you know, within your DNA. When you were working with etheric temples and energy was running through you, you knew you were a vessel. We are all vessels of our higher selves, right? So the priestess energy that is coming through is that remembrance that we are just vessels. We are just vessels, and we're remembering this. You know, it's not mine or yours, it's ours, it's collective. And again, this is working with Venus, and like we said, it's limitless. The next point is 741 again, so that balancing energy. And this is 333, so this is expansion. So if you are really not sure what's going on and it's a bit contracted, maybe the 333 of expansion, to just slowly release this contraction within, wherever it is, wherever in the body it is. This is the most excellent one also, because it's with 741, which creates balance. And this is the call of the muse. So imagine the priestess and you're getting clarity. These here. Well, on this side, you are now working with the call of the muse to allow the priestess to come through. So the 741 on the 333, the call of the muse and movement. I invoke the 741 and the 333, the call of the muse and movement. And you will find this is bringing expansion with it. And so this is the energy that we're working with right now. Things are slowing right down. Time is just out there. We're trying to get things sorted. Give a break to what you feel you must do, and just allow this organic energy to rise. And finally, here we are moving to where Venus is working with. She's moving from the dragon energy, and now she's working with the ascended divine feminine, which is crystal energy. And so she's working on the 6th of February, which is today, with the green dragon. This is the last dragon she's working with, and stand still, which is why we are being quiet today. We are standing still. And this is clear energy working with Venus. On the 7th of February tomorrow, it's graphic smoky quartz, disruption. Atlantean Arcturian energy working with the magnetics of the earth, so look out if there's anything going on there. 8th of February, chrysocolla, flow, which is evolutionary. 9th of February, trigonic quartz, strength, and it's clear energy working with Venus. 10th of February, pink granite, disruption, it's a very activational day. 11th of February, lavender aragonite, defense, a day of remembrance. And then the 12th of February, carnelian and joy, transformational as interdimensional. It's an interdimensional dragon day on the 12th of February. So as we prepare for the next week of the eclipse, so not this week, the following week, with the new moon, the fire horse energy, and then the great conjunction of Saturn and Neptune. This is the last week of the collective snake shedding the skin, and so we begin. So sending so much love on the light. Give yourself a rest, a break. If needed, listen to within. There's lots of energy going on out there. Be kind to yourself and others, and we will see you next week. So have a great, great day. It's evening here in France, and it's probably mornings in many places, or if you're just listening to the recording, may you have a beautiful day wherever you are. And like we said, all those crystals that we've just listed, there are frequencies with those crystals. You just invoke the crystal, invoke the frequency, so any of the frequencies that are written down on Dragon's Eye Hub on the blog for this week of the Venus Cosmic Weather Report, just remember, if you want to invoke, you start with I, invoke, you state the frequency, for instance 741, and then the bracket on the 777, and then say the rose's kiss and protection, and just see what comes in. Or simply just play the frequencies 741, 285, 111. There are many, many, many frequencies listed this week, and as we say, we have listed all the frequencies for Venus as well, day to day, so you can write the different crystals in your diary if you wish. And yes, it's a time to get those crystals out, because they're working with the ascended divine feminine. So this is energy coming in from your Sirius A and B, and opening up that whale energy that's within your crystalline grids, and allowing that powerful ancient energy to come back to you after we've had all this dragon energy. And we still have many dragons right now that are working working furiously through this interdimensional. They're going from dimension to dimension and back again, bringing this energy in, because remember, dragons are simply just waves of energy flowing from one dimension to another, and they've got a pass for all dimensions. So if you've got a dragon, or you're being introduced to dragon energy, you may visualize a dragon, because in the 3D we visualize, right? And we're told what a dragon looks like. Just remember, it's just energy, and it's working for you. So call your dragon in to bring this ancient coding in for you. So that being said, have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful week. Much love. Take care. Bye.